The next topic is Java I/O. So I/O means input output. Just a minute. So here uh, already we have used the input output concept in Java, because input means when we are inputting any information data, that is called input, and when we are showing something uh, or showing something, that is called your output. Then in Java we have used this scanner class for inputting the data, and system.out we have used for printing the data. Out object we are using for printing the data. Okay, so first let us discuss what is stream. Stream is an object in Java. Okay, so you know the meaning of stream. Stream means sequence of bytes, you can say. Sequence of bytes, that is called stream. And when we are uh, something is inputting, then that is called input stream. And when it is going to output device, then that is called output stream. Okay, so already we have used this system.in for input stream, and system.out for output stream. Okay, and uh, these two things we have already used. And where it is used, we have the system.out we have used to print something, system.out. Then the different methods like print, println, these are we have used for printing the data on the screen. Okay, so out is your screen where it is printing. So similarly, this in is your keyboard from where it is accepting the data. Okay, so for that we have used something. Now today we will see, just see the diagram here. Just see the diagram. From keyboard, that is called the data when it is receiving this standard input stream. Okay, then it is going to computer memory. Then when we are displaying, then that is called standard output stream, which is on the display screen, or you can say monitor. Okay, so that this flow is called stream flowing. Okay, from keyboard to system memory, from memory to the monitor. This is output stream, this is input stream. Okay, so two streams we are using for input output purpose. Next come to the file stream. File stream means when the information stored in the disk file, a disk, then that is called file stream. Means from memory it will be transferred to disk, then it is called file stream. Okay, so when you are reading the data from the file, that is input stream. When you are writing the data to the file, then that is called output stream. Okay, so review just we will review it, the scanner class which we have already used. So scanner class is used for this input purpose. Okay, there are some constructors are there. So the constructor takes an object of type Java IO input stream, stores information about the connection between an input device and the computer. So system.in we are using there for input. System.in is your keyboard. Okay. Then for just see this is for overview. Just we are using this next int for input data, next line for line string input. Okay, so these are the methods which we have used for inputting different data and different types of data using scanner class. Next, come to the difference between binary versus text file. What is binary file? What is text file? When you are writing, when you are creating a Java program, source program, or writing something using Notepad, okay, that we are saying a text file. Okay, it contains the ASCII character. When we are trying to see the content, it shows the ASCII characters in the alphabets, digits, and some maybe some special characters. Okay, and that is called text file. So text file is obviously it is stored in the bit format, but 1 byte per character. It is occupying 1 byte per character. That is 1 byte means 8 bits. Okay. So for example, Java source file, which is a text file. Okay. So using text editor, we can open a text file like Notepad, Notepad++, or so many text editors are there using which we can open a text file and edit it. Okay. Similarly, binary files. Binary files are the normally the executable programs which is stored in the encoded format. Okay, which is will be read or write by uh, the system, and the computer hardware only recognizes that information. Then your operating system is executing that. So these files are easily read by a computer but not humans. Okay, we cannot read these contents, binary files. Computer can read it. Okay, they are not printable files. So because these are not character files, this is not printable. So normally uh, the executable program is a binary file. Okay, executable files are binary files. Now let us discuss about Java binary file. The other binary file and Java binary file are little bit different. Normally, the normal binary files are executable programs which is recognized by your operating system. But Java binary file, you can say the byte code that which we are executing, the class files, those are called Java binary files, and that can be recognized by the Java runtime environment. Okay, that's why it is called Java binary files. So here Java text files, your source files, the program files, occasionally input files and output files, the text files. But Java binary files are executable files created by compiling source file. Okay, it also uses some input and output files. Okay. So just see the brief structure of text file. Text file, suppose 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, this is a text file. ASCII code 49, 50, 55. These are the text ASCII format, binary format, octal format. These are text file information. But binary file is looks like this, but not exactly it will show like this. We will see the screen. Okay. So next come to streams. A stream is a sequence of data of undermining length, mined length. A stream is a sequence of data of undermined length. Okay. So byte oriented and numeric data is written with output streams and read with input streams. So text or character data is written with writer and read with reader. So text or character data written with writer and read with reader. So in Java, basically there are 4 classes which are used to file input output purpose. That is java.io.input stream, java.io.output stream, java.io.reader, java.io.writer. These are the 4 streams. These are the 4 classes which we will use for Java input output purpose. Okay, these are the 4 classes. You may note down and remember input stream, output stream, reader and writer. These are the 4 classes. And these, remember, these are the 4 abstract classes. Abstract classes means the class cannot be instantiated, which we know. Okay. From this, several subclasses are inherited. There are several subclasses are inherited. From that subclasses, we will create the object and we can access it. And those in those subclasses, the methods are defined. Okay. So in Java, when we are writing a stream, so that can be composed of discrete bytes containing anything, but processing best by using while loop, using the a particular marker. In Windows, we will use Ctrl Z. In Unix or Linux, we will press Ctrl X. So these are the subclasses of the Java IO classes. The different IO classes which we have seen here, 4 IO classes. Okay, and these are the subclasses. And see here the red marked subclasses which we will discuss in this subject. Okay, from the word we can easily understand the meaning of this. Buffer input stream. Okay, that is for input buffer. Is from the buffer, when we want to read the data, that is buffer input stream subclass we will use for that purpose. When we want to write something to the buffer, then that is called buffer output stream. Okay, that class we will use. Similarly, highly input stream for file input means from the file, when we will read the data, then we will use file input stream class. So similarly, file output stream class we will use when we are going to store something in the file, then we will use file output stream class. Next, reading bytes of data. How to read the 1 by 1 byte of data from the file or from the buffer or whatever. Okay, so you can read from the buffer, you can read from the file. So that you can write to the buffer, you can write to the file. So these different streams we know now we know, that is the buffer input, buffer and file. It may be input stream, it may be output stream. So these four input stream, output stream classes are subdivided into buffer input stream and file input stream, buffer output stream, file output stream. Okay. So read method, there is a method read is there using which we can read one by one character or one by one byte of data. Okay, read one by one character or byte of data. Now, see here, the basic read method of the input stream class reads a single unsigned byte of data and return the int value of the unsigned byte. So after read, when you execute read method, it will read unsigned byte data and return integer byte data, integer data, which is converted from the byte. So this is a number between 0 to 255. 0 to 255. If the end of the stream is encountered, it return -1. When it reads end of the file, end of the stream, then that is returning -1. And remember here, the end of the stream is encountered -1 value. So when question will arise, what is the end of the mark in the file stream or buffer stream, then you say -1. And you can use this as a flag to watch from the end. We will see the program where we will use it and check it. Okay. So the read method is returning integer value, which is an abstract method, and abstract method is written in the input file stream, input stream. Okay, this read is used in input stream. So see here, this is a program. So we will go to directly the this type of this program in the computer programming screen. Just to see the program here, for IO, we have to import java.io.star. You may note down for input output purpose, file or stream programming, we need to write import java.io.star. Okay, so that all the input output classes will be imported. And here you see the program. Suppose in the echo is the class name. My class I have given echo, and inside that main method is there. And here echo system.in. System.in already you know, that is system.in for input stream. Okay, so input stream is passed to the echo method. So echo function or echo method. In the echo method, it is received input stream and in. Okay, so this system.in is one input stream type reference. So here it is receiving this input stream as the input stream, and inside this program here read method is used. Just see here, read method is used here to read one byte of data. Then it is converting to integer. So as told, we have discussed, this read method is returning integer value. So it is returning to this I, and after that, so it checks. Here you see this is your infinite loop while true. So this loop will continue until next here. If I double equal to -1, that means when it is encountering end of file, end of stream, then it will break. Loop will be break. So otherwise what it will do, the I value which is in integer form will be converted to character. Here I is converted to character, then stored in C. Okay, next here the C value is printing on the screen. So this is a loop where it continuously inputting the data and showing on the screen. Okay, and when you press Ctrl Z in the Windows environment, okay, then it will terminate. Okay, and then it will get that value is -1 and break the loop. So here exception handling concept is applied when if something encountered any exception, then just it shows the exception error. Otherwise, just a blank line, it will print and come out of the loop. Okay, so this is the program which we will see now. Just see here, the program name is echo.java. So here, the echo.java is compiled. Just here what happened, it is waiting to the user because we have used this read here, it is waiting to the user for read a byte of data. Okay, suppose I enter anything, press enter. Okay, immediately that is printed on the screen. When I press enter, whatever data I enter and press enter, it is immediately showing on the screen. Okay, that is written in this program. If the data will be stored in I in integer form, then here it is converted to C, and that C value is printed on the screen, and again loop come to this, and because of while true, again it entered. So when I press Ctrl Z, here is just you see, when I press Ctrl Z, it will terminate. Okay, the -1 value, when I press Ctrl Z, -1 value, it is terminated and come out of the loop. And because there is here it is printing a blank line, this printf. So after blank line, it comes to the prompt. Okay, this is a simple program to understand how this read method is used, and input stream is used here. Input stream is used here, and the read method is the member method of input stream class. Okay. Then buffered stream. Just read this. The java.io buffered input stream and java.io buffered output stream. These are the two classes of IO package, Java package, that is buffered input stream and buffered output stream. Each are used for buffer read and writes. Okay, buffer means the memory. Buffer means the memory. When we are inputting something, it is transferred to the memory. Then when we are getting something from the memory, then it is called buffer input output. Suppose so many keywords you are typed, and after some time it comes to the screen. So it is stored in the buffer. First, it is everything when we are reading or writing from keyboard or to the screen. Then buffer is the intermediate location where it is temporarily storing. You know, in YouTube or some applications, we are just using a word buffering. Buffering means if internet is slow, okay, so first it let it download a part of some bytes of data. After that, it is showing to the user. Otherwise, you cannot view see the YouTube videos. So when internet is bandwidth is very less and the download speed is very slow, then at the time buffering is going on. At that position, we are saying buffering is going. Buffering means temporarily it is storing in the prime memory. Okay, when there is the internet is very fast, then it is not storing the information for a long period in the buffer. Immediately it transferred to the output screen. Okay, so when because of internet speed, otherwise it uses buffering, or you can say streaming. Okay, when live information is going on, then we can say we are saying live streaming. Okay, live means immediately it comes to the other location, from one location to another location. So here this buffer input stream and buffer output stream classes are buffer read and writes. These are two methods we will see. By first storing the in the buffer. Okay, then the program read bytes from the stream without calling the underlying native method until the buffer is empty. The data is read or written into the buffer in blocks. Subsequent accesses go straight to the buffer. So reader and writer are two classes of IO which is used also, which are also abstract classes. Okay, so Java IO.reader and Java IO.writer classes are abstract super classes for classes that read and write characters based data. When character based data we are reading or writing, these classes are used. So subclasses are notable for handling the conversion between different character sets. That you will know. Okay. So the difference, input and output streams are fundamentally byte based. However, readers and writers are based on characters. Okay, input output are byte based, reader and writer are the character based. Okay, so here in the previous slide we have seen buffer stream, buffer input stream, buffer output. These are byte method. So reader and writer classes also there. That is character method. Okay, so then these are the main difference. So the basic read method reads a single character. Basic read method is reads a single character, which may or may take between 1 or 4 bytes depending on the character set or system, and returns the character as integer between 0 to 65535. That is the integer value. Okay, that is your 2 byte integer, positive integer. It returns -1 if the end of the stream is seen. So Java IO writer classes, these method of the Java IO writer classes are deliberately similar to the method Java IO output stream. Okay, so this is also like output stream, but however, rather than working with bytes, they are work with character. Okay, writer is work with character, not with the like working with bytes. So similarly, the basic write method writes a single 2 byte character with a value between 0 to 65535. Next come to input stream reader class. Input stream reader class, it serves as a bridge between byte stream and character stream. So you can use it between byte stream and character stream. It is a bridge. It reads bytes from the input stream and translates into the character according to the specified character encoding. So another two programs we will see where we have used these things. Here, this program is buffer reader. Buffer reader. So here just see, buffer reader class is used. Buffer reader class is used. That's what is buffered, BUFFERED, buffered reader class is used, and this is the reference or instance. Then new buffer reader, new input stream reader. Input stream reader is your another what? Another class that is passed as a parameter, and this is used. This is the parent class. Okay, this is the parent class. Sorry, buffer reader is the base, and this is your child class. So system dot in your parameter. So here one buffer reader reference object is created, BR. Okay. Next, this line, it is printing on the screen to enter a character QE to quit. Okay. So this just system dot out. This sorry, C equal to character br dot read. Br dot read. Br dot read means this br is the buffer reader object, and read is the method. Read is the method to read the byte data, and it is converting to character form because it is, it is returning an integer value. So here typecasting is used to convert a character to character form, and C assigned to C. Then output, then C will be showing on the screen, and this thing will continue until unless you type Q when you input the data. When it is Q, when C not C equal to Q, it immediately terminates. So here this program showing for this purpose, that is character, we will input character wise data. Okay, let us see this program. So compiled successfully, Java. So here message shown, enter character Q for quit. Then whatever I data input data, so that each character, when I press enter, it is showing. Okay, when I press enter, it is showing, or whatever data I entered. Suppose I entered so many characters, so it is stored in the buffer. It is stored in the buffer. One by one data comes to the screen and showing on the screen. When I press Q and press enter, the loop will terminate and came out of the loop. So that is the program which we have discussed here. Just see here, this thing is reading the data, and because we are using buffer reader, so it is reading and storing on the character. And if I enter multiple characters in the buffer, it is pushed, and you know the data structure, and one by one data it is reading from the screen again, pop the data, then showing on the screen. Okay, so when I type Q, then it come to the exit from the loop and come out of the screen. So this is the program for reading character. Okay, next we will see another program. Just see here this program. Here, instead of character, here we are going to read line by line data. Okay, so just see the same program, similar program, buffer reader is used, and all the things, but here instead of there we have used character, here we have used string, and that string, for string, read line. Read line is a method. Read line, remember, read line is a method to read line of code, line of text. Okay, so br.read line, this buffer reader, one line of text will be read and store in the string, and that string, after pressing enter key, that will be showing on the screen. And here the condition is given, while not str dot equals within parenthesis stop. Okay, so when you type stop, then only it will stop. Here, like in this program, when we press Q and press enter, when it is Q, then it exits. Similarly, here when we type stop and press enter, it is equal to, matches the equality, and condition false, come out of the loop. So let us see the program br read lines.java. So here it shows enter lines of text, enter stop to quit. Two messages come as per the program, enter lines of text, enter stop to quit. Now here, suppose I write silicon, press enter, it is showing on the screen. it is showing on the screen after pressing enter key. Because here it is written that it is written after typing the data, it is stored in the STR and the STR data is showing on the screen. But here, when I type stop, the condition is true. Now exit the thing. Okay. So this is about the data reading, buffer reader. Buffer reader is used to read and write to the buffer using either using the read using here we have used read to one by one character. Here we have used read line to read a line of text. Okay. So now you know to print the println we have used to print it. Okay. So these are two things, read and read line. These are the two things which is used to read from the buffer and store in the buffer. Then this is read and store on display on the screen. So